Hey friend, welcome to my channel Karinealourde, where we deep dive and break down the most iconic stars in history. If you're not yet subscribed, please be sure to do so and turn your notifications on so you never miss an upload. Now in today's episode, we will be discussing the amazing career and accomplishments of Zeudi Araya. So Zeudi Araya, for those who don't know, is an Eritrean Italian former actress, singer, model, and film producer. Now she is gorgeous, probably one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life. She looks like a Barbie doll, her smoky eyes, her color, just a Barbie doll. But she was surrounded by a lot of controversy. We're going to get into all of this, but let me do the introduction. Araya was a rarity among Italian actresses of her generation, as she often played strong female characters who defied convention and conventional expectations. Araya has said that she wanted to show Italian women that they could be independent and lead full lives outside of traditional gender roles. Her performances helped to challenge stereotypes surrounding women's roles in society while still being entertaining. Zeudi was a pioneer in bringing awareness of Eritrea to a Western audience. From the early 1970s to the mid-1980s, she starred in a string of Italian mondo films, making her a household name in Italy's film industry. Meanwhile, her universal appearances in photo shoots and magazine covers ensured that her face was familiar to nearly every Eritrean in the world. Some of Zeudi's fans are adults who discovered her at the height of her career, while others are members of a much younger generation who learned about her through more recent media outlets like Instagram, Pinterest, and Tumblr. She's all over Pinterest and Tumblr just for her face alone. Like, I've been seeing her on Pinterest for a long time, and that's how I discovered her, and some of her films was from Pinterest. So, and Tumblr, just love her. You know, there's a resurgence of these older starlets, so it's just gorgeous that this young generation is looking for the diversity, especially with today's celebrities and influencers. They kind of all are looking the same. These starlets from back then had variety. They all looked different. They had their own appeal, their own beauty. Everybody didn't look the same. It wasn't the same thing going on. If you guys know what I mean. Everyone was beautiful, but in their own very unique way. And I wish the uniqueness would be back, right? Zeudi's legacy in the Eritrean community is becoming more revered with each passing generation because it wasn't before. She first gained recognition for her work as a model before going on to become an actress and singer. She became one of the first Black actresses to make it big in Italian cinema, appearing in over 20 films from 1969 to 1989. At the same time, she was also a successful singer who released 3 albums during this time period. Her most popular song was Voulez-vous danser avec moi? The song reached #1 on the Italian charts and became one of the biggest disco hits of 1979. Araya also made history when she became one of the first Black women to appear on Italian TV shows such as Drive-In, as well as other variety shows like Festival Bar. Her presence opened doors for other Black actors and actresses who followed her lead. In addition to her acting career, Zeudi also produced a few films, including Zaino Nero, which won Best Film at the Venice Film Festival in 1984. Her work as a model saw her grace the covers of many European magazines during the 70s and 80s, such as Harper's Bazaar Italia, Playboy Germany. She even made history by becoming the first Black woman to appear on an Italian magazine cover back in 1967 when she posed for Playman magazine. Now that you guys have this introduction on who she is, let's get into her childhood. She was born in Asmara, Eritrea on February 10th, 1951 and moved to Italy with her family in 1962. Araya's father was a politician and her uncle was a diplomat in Rome. And due to her father's status, Zeudi was able to attend prestigious Italian schools in Asmara during her formative years and trained to become a surveyor. Zeudi won a beauty contest when she was about 16 years old, earning her the title of Miss Ethiopia and a VIP trip to Rome as her prize. And although she did return to Eritrea for her travels, she left again for Rome a few years later, this time to stay. While in Italy, Zeudi was scouted for a role in a coffee commercial. Although some sources say she was 21, others say she was only 18, so her age at the time of this meeting remains a mystery. And in spite of this, it was on the set of the coffee commercial that she met the famous Italian director and screenwriter Luigi Scattini. The film La ragazza dalla pelle di luna, directed by Scattini, would be Zeudi's first and catapult her into the spotlight. Almost immediately, her casting in Scatini's film was met with backlash from some members of the Eritrean community. Her debut feature premiered 12 years into the Eritrean War of Independence, a bloody and difficult period in the country's history. Eritrea was completely isolated and without any allies on the international stage. Few were aware of Eritrea's revolutionary movement, and even fewer cared. Because of this, the role Zeudi plays in her debut film is even more divisive. In the films, Zeudi portrays Simona, a black woman who falls in love with an Italian tourist who is already married. Prior to his return to Italy with his wife, Alberto has an openly depicted affair with Simona, and in the movie, the wife also had an affair also, but they ended up living together. Most of these movies, including this movie, is on YouTube. If you just put her name, you'll find some of her movies, and they have subtitles so you guys can enjoy if you want to be familiar with her. They're very nice little movies. You could do your makeup to, or, you know, just watch in the evening when you want to relax. Ripped from the headlines, the film starred an Eritrean woman and an Italian man in an extramarital affair that they both glamorized. Interracial marriages were seen as offensive by both the Eritrean and Italian communities. In the film, Zeudi's character comes across as the one who actively pursues an interracial relationship between herself and Alberto, only to have Alberto return to his wife. Therefore, many people living in Eritrea at the time saw Zeudi as an Eritrean for the Italians rather than an Eritrean for them, like for her own people. She was not considered one of their own. She was for the Italians. The cinematic representations of her were crafted by Italians, specifically for the male gaze of Italian audiences. Zeudi was an Eritrean for those out there, as an interviewer put it. She portrayed women who were sensually submissive to Italians, in stark contrast to the real-life Eritrean women who were fighting for independence from the country at the time. It would be a mistake to say that Zeudi's controversial status was solely due to the coincidence of the release of her films in the Eritrean Revolution. Traditional ideas of female modesty and sensuality in Eritrea also stood in stark contrast to Zeudi in her writings. Zeudi's sensuality and bare body were front and center in her movies and magazine spreads. Her on-screen selves never seemed shocked by the attention their bodies garnered or naive about sensuality. So she was just sensually herself on screen. And even today, Eritrea is still very conservative, but it's still very controversial to be that open and free with your body. Over there, although it has gotten a lot better, because today's young Eritreans on Zeudi Araya's legacy, their view is very fascinating. Among Zeudi's younger admirers, the glamorization of Italian colonialism in East Africa is more likely to be criticized than Zeudi's beauty or acting, which was more common among older supporters. So people's issues now is that you guys glamorize Italians being, colonizing us, and the women just falling in love with them, which overseas, whether the Caribbeans or any African countries, Brazilian, anytime those people we are colonized, because I'm a Haitian myself, and I say Haiti is the only country that we don't really play that, but there still was some of that where they, would put in movies, if there was a white man in there was a white woman in there, that it'll just be overly glamorized to where it looks like a savior complex. I don't know how to explain it, but the people understand it, and it does come off very offensive to them, because it's like, we're not gonna, insult our own people and glamorize this when we're being colonized and we're fighting for our freedom. Do you guys kind of see the issue with why they were kind of against her films? It's like we're fighting against independence for them, and here you are glamorizing movies that portrays this like we like this, like we're glamorizing it. It's giving Hattie McDaniel. If you haven't seen my Hattie McDaniel video yet, where African Americans were very embarrassed and disappointed by her for the glamorizations of maid and the mammy trope in movies. That's what it's kind of given, if you want to know why they were so upset. As a woman, she dresses and acts however she pleases. Her lead characters may be criticized for being weak, but Zeudi is fiercely independent. She fought against being confined by norms and standards, but Zeudi, like so many other Eritreans, decided to forge her own way. Zeudi's influence extended beyond entertainment too. In 1995, she founded SOS, an association dedicated to helping children from families living in poverty in Rome by providing them with educational resources. She was married to producer Franco Cristaldi from 1983 until his death in 1992. Since 1994, she lives with the director Massimo Spano, with whom she has a son. Today, Zeudi Araya is still gorgeous. She aged very beautifully. She remains an iconic figure in Italian culture and cinema for her contributions and influence, both on screen and off screen. Her work has had a lasting impact not only on Italian cinema, but also on popular culture around the world thanks to its timeless appeal. Zeudi is definitely one of the most beautiful women ever. Her skin to her facial structure, cheekbones, everything is to die for. She could pull off any look and she still looks stunning till this day. I wish she was given better opportunities to be in better work like most black actresses during the 70s. Her beauty does deserve better, right? That is all I have for this video because she still remains private. She does interviews, but she is very well spoken, very private. She has like this mysterious aura. There's not much more I could find for this video, but it is a pleasure to watch her movies. She is a stunning woman. Go check out her work, and if you like this and you want a similar video, check out my video on Iman, the Barbie of Somalia. I'll put it in the comment section. Check that out. I love you guys so much. Comment below who else would you guys like to see, and make sure you turn on your notification bell because I have a lot of exciting videos coming up for you guys this month. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time.